Hey mamas, I'm reporting live to you in my bathroom to give you all the secrets and tips to how to get this look professionally, because the prices that they're charging right now and the groceries and all the things. And if you're anything like me, I have 2 daughters. I cannot afford to be paying for 3 people to get their hair done. So let's get into the stuff they wouldn't tell you. This is a 3-way mirror that I use in order to see myself. Obviously, if you're braiding your daughter's hair, you won't need this 3-way mirror, but when I'm braiding my hair on myself, this is very helpful. The other items you will need is a detangling brush, clips, and a comb with the pointy end, and these are the 2 gels that I like to use. I'll show you these later in the video. This is the bundle hair from my new brand, Brandplicity, and this is my braiding hair that I will be using for this boho knotless style. This is the rack that I use to make it super easy to organize the hair. In order to set up the hair, I like to spray oil sheen on the braiding hair just to make it smooth, and it makes it easier to pull it apart. And then I will just brush through to get any tangles out, so there will be no tangles when I'm braiding my hair, because the most annoying part about braiding hair can be the tangles. So here you will see me setting up the braiding hair on one side, and then I will go in and set up the boho curly pieces on the other side. Also, a little tip with the braiding hair is that you can put gel on the ends to make it easier to pick it up and add it to your braid. So here I'm just showing you how I like to split my hair in 3 quadrants. So I have the front, the middle, and the very back, and it'll make a little bit more sense as I show you further in the video, but this just helps me with the parting. So I know the back's gonna have a certain amount of rows, and when I get to the front, I can connect that with that middle part. So here's a little trick with parting. I know that my box needs to be a similar size to the box but underneath it. So if you're not sure how to part, you're basically trying to match it with that first row. And then when I part, I go in and make the part, and then after I finish making the part, I'll go add gel to the part and I'll go back and straighten it up. So right here, this is me calling myself having it straight. And now I'm figuring out how to braid the next row. I know the next row needs to be in the middle of the 2 braids underneath it. That's how you get a brick layer pattern. And I will make another video that goes more into depth about parting, because that's a whole thing. But hopefully this makes sense. So that part is going in between those 2 braids underneath it, just so that it has like a symmetrical lay for each braid. And then I will take the clip to make a box for each braid that's going to be in that row. You will begin each braid with the green gel that I showed. It's a little bit thicker. And then you're going to take your hair and put it in 3 pieces, just like you would if you were doing a normal braid with no feed in. You will begin to braid down like 1 or 2 times, and then you're going to grab a piece of the braiding hair, make a C with the braiding hair, and then add it to the middle leg of the braid and the right outside leg of the braid, and begin to braid as if you didn't add any hair. And you will continue this motion until you get the right thickness you want for your braid, and then also think about the length that you want the braid to be. This will also determine how many pieces you put in, but be careful not to put too many pieces in to where the braid becomes way too dense. If you need to add hair for length, wait till you get closer to the end so that the braid doesn't become bulky. And this is one of those things that you just have to play around with, and I'll be sure to make more videos to explain what I mean by that. As you're braiding, you want to make sure that you're taking your time and that you're smoothing your hair, the braiding hair together. I like to use the gel in the red jar to smooth my hair as I'm braiding. I use the red jar for parting, and I like to use it for smoothing the hair down as I braid, just to get that neat professional look. These are the tips that they won't tell you. There are two ways that you can add in the boho piece. I'm going to show you the first way now, and then later on in the video I'll show you the second way. So you're going to place the shorter end of the boho piece, the straight piece, on one leg of the braid, and then pull the curly piece up out of the way. You can also use a clip to clip it out of the way, and then you will just continue to braid as if you didn't add anything in. Also remember to use the red gel to smooth down that hair and make sure that it stays inside the braid. That's what I'm doing here, putting some gel on that piece so that it can blend with the rest of the braid, and then just continue to braid down. And now let's get into how I close out the braid. I make sure that it matches the length of the braid next to it, and then I'm going to tie it in a knot. I'll take one piece of hair, a thinner piece of the braid, and I will tie it around the entire braid. Then I'm going to take some nail glue. After I do the first tie, put on the nail glue, and then I'm going to tie one more time over the nail glue so that it stays in place. And this is how you get that professional look, and the braid will not unravel at the end. Another tip for you is how you do the front and make sure that your parts are straight. The front is the part that everyone sees, so I like to do the first braid of each row on one side. So in the video it's going to be, I think, the right side, and so I did the first braid in each one of those rows, and then I'm going to take that braid and that row and continue it all the way around to the other side, and that way I know my part is straight on both sides. I hope that makes sense. So let's go over the steps with the gel again. In this green container is the gel that I use at the root of the braid, and that's how I get the braid to lay down with my 4C hair. So I'm going to comb it in really well before I start braiding, just to make sure the braid is straight. I'm going to take it into those 3 pieces and begin to braid. This is just another angle to show you how to start to braid. So you're going to braid, and then you're going to begin to add the pieces. You're going to turn it into a C, and you're going to put it between your index finger and your thumb. It's going to be on 2 legs of the braid, and there will be 1 leg of the braid that doesn't have any braiding hair until you add it. And that's what I'm doing now, making it a C, tucking it in between those 2 fingers, and continuing to braid. You will add in the curly boho pieces in a similar way. You just want to make sure to pull that curl out, and I will show you that up next. So with the boho piece, you're going to have that shorter end that's straight. That's the piece that you're going to continue to leave in the braid. And then you're going to braid in the curly piece. This is the second way, just as if you were going to leave it. But then as you braid down, maybe 3 braids to secure it, you're going to pull it up and out of the braid. And then you're going to use the red gel to smooth that hair into the braid. This is how I smooth my real hair and any additional pieces of braiding hair that I'm adding. And this is how you get a uniform professional look. This is what they don't tell you. This is what they don't tell you. This is how you get it done, ladies. We getting it done at home on a budget. I got you. And here's the final angle. I just wanted to make sure you guys really were able to get the steps. So you're going to start the braid as normal, braid down maybe 2 or 3 times, and then you're going to start adding in the braiding hair. Once you've added enough braiding hair to pretty much match the density of your part, you're going to go in and add a boho curly piece. I like to add about 2 pieces per braid. Depends on how fluffy you want it. You definitely can add more, but 2 pieces is good enough for me. In the top, I will add sometimes about 3 pieces. You will continue to braid down to your desired stopping point that matches the rest of the braids, and then you will close it out with the knot and use the glue to close it out. So let's close this thing on out. This is the finished look without any mousse or moisturizer for the curls. So what I like to do is mousse the top, and then I'm going to put a stocking cap on to lay down the hair. After that, I'm going to go in and cut the ends because I already know I don't want it to be too much longer than the curls. And then from there, I'm going to dip the hair in hot water. So here's another tip they'll never tell you. So what you do to make it easier to curl the hair is that you're going to dip it first and just dip it as straight. And that way it's already got some of the thinness in it, and then it's super easy to roll it this way. Obviously let it cool down. So you see me right now doing just the straight piece, and then I'm going to go in and roller set it, and this is how I like to roll it. I like to start at the bottom and then I roll it up. So make sure when you start rolling that you twist it up as you roll. So I'll show you here in a second. You roll up and then you're going to twist and roll, twist and roll, and then you're going to dip it again and then take it out, and you're going to get the most beautiful curls. This is the rod I use. It's pretty small, but I like my curls very tight. And so there I was just showing you how it looked when everything was rolled. I didn't show you this part because I didn't want to burn myself trying to film and dip these rollers, but this is how everything looks curled. And then I'm gonna go in and just trim the curls so that it is all pretty even. I do like a little bit of different lengths in my curls. Like, I'm okay if they're not exactly the same length, but I do want it to have some shape. So then that's it, guys. This is the completed look. So let me know if you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what other questions you have about braiding. Oh yes, and let me not forget, I'm using my Hair by Sonia spray from my cousin to refresh the curls. So this is like a leave-in conditioner. I just rub it into the curls and I just kind of hand comb through the curls. Thank you guys for watching. This is the finished touch. I am loving my braiding hair. I'm loving my curls. Definitely check out Braidplicity to get your own braiding hair and curls. And I thank you guys for joining me today. I am your bestie in this DIY braiding process. So let me know what other videos you want to see and what questions you have about braiding your hair at home. Because we got this, y'all. We saving coins the rest of 2024. Christmas is around the corner, Thanksgiving is around the corner, so we need all this do-it-yourself that we can get. You hear me? So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. And a list of all the products I use will also be listed in the description.